Hello, and welcome back to episode 11 of Keeping It Real in Space Engineers with Strix. So, I haven't been able to find a comet to live in at all, or on, but I did find this nice asteroid with perfect hole going straight through it. A little off cut to the side in there. Not sure how well this is visible to you guys with YouTube's compression and darkness problems. Turn that on so I don't lose my ship. But it's also got iron over here on this end somewhere. I was able to see it, but as soon as I came into the hole, I can no longer see it. Ah, there it is. Right up here, we've got plenty of iron to get started with. Uh, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a starter platform here so I can get a miner built, something that'll be more effective for my travels in space overall. I am going to keep the Colony 1 put together in the meantime, though, until I've got that. The ship I'm going to be working on today is going to be purely aimed at being able to find ore and mine, which reminds me, I did put in the azimuth overclocked ore detectors, and those are going to require me to find, let's see, I want to use the space only small grid. Actually, that's all standard materials, but as you can see, it requires quite a bit more than just the normal ore detector, which those are really easy to build. So I don't feel the overclocked ore detectors are too cheaty because of how much more expensive it is. And also, I don't know this for a fact, it's overall a test, but I think he coded his overclocked ore detectors differently than the ore detector plus plus. So perhaps it'll give less lag issues. And I am still suffering lag, so the person who commented and said that the lag issue is likely to follow me over time, they were correct. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this up over here. So that being the case, perhaps I stay on the move, mining an area until the lag starts getting too bad for the videos to progress, and then move to a new location and do some more work. That being the case, I think I will be using this platform then to start building out a frame for a large grid vessel, a mobile base, to make that kind of living easier. Don't really need these in here on all 4 points, but I don't like the way it looks if it's floating, despite the fact we're in space and floating is perfectly fine. Can I roll that out some? No. Need more steel plates. Also need the lag to stop. So let's go ahead and back the ship up. Get it over the platform. Actually, we can go ahead and get it back out in the sun. I can turn off the antenna. There we go. So it's still a little bit of a distance I have to fly over, but that is fine. Go ahead and grab 50 more steel plates. I can easily make more if I need, because I still have iron on board the ship. And some of these are going to be removed for conveyor lines potentially. I also need a place for that ship to park to at least drop off power. I just remembered I've got the 2 full-size batteries on there for that very purpose. So let's see, I've got connector here. Let's go ahead and remove that from the build planner because I have a lot of steel plates on me and can get started on that. One component can't be put into production, so I don't have these small steel tubes apparently. Which is not terribly useful for me. I wonder how I don't have those. I absolutely should have. Oh wait, I left that other connector just sitting there when I took off. That's alright. How many small steel tubes do these have? So I can get the 12 I need from one of these. That'll just take off a bit of my thruster power until I get my assembler online and get it all fixed. Shouldn't be a problem though. The only real problem is waiting for these parts to get finished. And I've got to grab a drink and a couple other things, so I'm going to pause up for a moment. I will be right back when those are done. Alright, so I'm back. Those parts are done. All except for the 12 small tubes. This will make getting exactly those 12 tubes from here a lot easier to do. Drop these parts in. Don't like going cannibal mode, but when you have to. I guess the next thing I should do is get this parked and then get my assembler up and running so I can get it fully functional again. And I went ahead and did the normal raised connector because, as we'll remember from last episode when I built this, the hydrogen thrusters on the bottom are low enough that they can burn any floor that's set up with a flush connector underneath them. So this way we won't have to worry about that. And the batteries I put on there for the base, now operational. Let's grab a steel plate. Don't have one. So I should have definitely made some extra steel plates before I left. And that is my bad. So, basic assembler. And I also don't need that on the hotbar anymore. And I'm just going to set this. Actually, I kind of don't want it right next to the entrance. Let's put it on the back side. That might be safer. Alright, so grab what parts I can. Get the rest made. All components put into production. Alright, so I can easily go ahead and set this up with conveyors going back in so I can unload everything. I just have to put a couple steel blocks here to here just to hold that together so I can get rid of that bit and put a conveyor block in, conveyor junction. I can use tubes through the rest of this. Over here is going to be a connector or a conveyor. Put a small cargo container right there. I can do a full-size refinery. I should have all the parts minus the steel plates because those all got used up somehow. Right, that was over 1,000 steel plates that should have been on board the ship here, so I don't know what happened with all that. Oh. Yeah, I do. They're in the connector down on the planet. They stayed there. Oops. That's about how many parts a connector will hold. Okay, so all the steel plates are in there. How's this production doing?
Inbound.
Okay, I should be pretty safe from the meteor storm, but let's take a look around here. Where are they coming in from? It should be coming in from the sun. Yep. So yeah, I am safe. They're just flying uselessly past me. Which sounds good to me. I don't want to get splatted. Okay, now, I was checking on the production in here. It doesn't have hardly any of my stuff. Fascinating. That one connector down there could not have held that much stuff. Oh well, at least I do have all of my ingots to be able to get this done. Cargo, hide empty. Though it is going through... Let's go ahead and pull this down so I can look at all the ingots together. Even though that's technically wafers. I turned off the O2H2 generator so that it isn't burning out all of the ice that I have, that I mined up. I just gave myself enough fuel to keep looking around for a bit, and then I noticed that I was getting tired, and sitting in the cockpit will slow down how quickly you get tired, but it does not allow you to sleep, which is silly. There's plenty of media that show mech pilots, pilots for ships having to sleep in their cockpit because you never know when you're going to have to be ready. Which is where I was yesterday. Why I didn't get a video out. I was binge watching Gundam Seed because I've never actually watched the series. And by the series, I mean the multiple series, Gundam itself. Until the last couple days, where I just watched all of Gundam Seed and the Netflix show Gundam Requiem of Vengeance. The latter of which, they didn't do faces very well in the art, to be perfectly honest. But other than that, quite a good show. I love their attention to detail on all of the mobile suits. There we go. So I now have that operational. Let's get some ingots over here so I can get things put together. I probably actually want to work on just getting a basic refinery up and running again, considering the fact that I do not have the parts for an actual refinery. Show only inventories here, hide empty. That'll just make this way easier. Let's grab 1,000 nickel, 500 cobalt, and as much silicon as I can carry. Not much. Gonna have to come back for silicon. So I should have absolutely taken a better look before taking off. Whoops. That being said, if I went ahead and let the O2H2 generator fill this all back up, I could dump everything off of the ship, go down empty, grab all of the stuff that I left behind by accident, and then come back. But let's go ahead and grab the missing 12 tubes here. Definitely want that to be operational. And how long is power going to run at this rate? Well, 9 hours or more. It was saying 9 hours when I first jumped in. Alright, so I need another couple of steel plates to go with the one that I already have, just so I can put down some ghosts to hold that. Need an interior plate so I can get the basic in, and some more interior plates so I can get the ghosts in for the rest of the stuff. Like cargo container. It missed the fact that I hit C in there first. Want that there. Conveyor junction there. And grab my pipes because they look amazing. And string these across here. Well, I should have more of those interior plates now. And right here, I'm going to want a T. Went the wrong way. Conveyor junction there. I'll worry about the other T section here in a bit. First, let's get as many of these as we can. Actually, no. First, let's get the small cargo. Then a basic refinery, then everything else that we need. Okay, I can go ahead and put down the basic refinery. Throw it down facing backwards because that'll work fine for this time around. So I'm going to go ahead and pause up and get all of this stuff welded up. And then I'll bring it back. We'll be able to start working on a general purpose mining vessel. It's probably, or not probably, it's also going to be hydrogen powered. I have not found platinum yet. So I need to get an ore mining exploration vessel up and running with an azimuth overclocked ore detector, so I can have a chance at seeing some things. Okay, there's the cargo container. But yeah, I'll be right back once I've got all this welded up. Alright, so I've got that all welded up. Good to go. I just need to get myself a bed in finally. I should have the parts for that already. Yep. Because that's the main reason I wanted to set down. I could do a small cryopod on the Colony 1. And if I wind up continuing to use the Colony 1, I will do absolutely that. Let's see. The way the small cryopod connects, I believe it would be able to set right there. Yep. Right there like that. Yeah, I think that matches up. But yeah, I could put one of those in and I'd be able to sleep on the Colony 1 that way. Not that you can technically sleep in space, but it works for the stat of sleep. Let's go ahead and grab some steel plates because I need to give myself a place to build my mining ship. So add a little bit more to the platform here. Little walkway out to here. And give myself a nice platform. Yeah, let's pull it from right there. Doesn't have to be an absolutely gigantic platform, but I can go ahead and run it from side to side. That would look nice, I think. Because that way it's got supports without me having to waste more steel plates. Sounds good. Alright, and that's going to be 5 wide overall. That works perfectly for me. Gives me a nice bit of space to work around for the build. Let's see here. And for building a hangar for said ship in the future, if I keep its size right. Get a connector out. I'll go ahead and use the inset connector here. And I can pull a connection out from there, so that'll work fine. Let's go ahead and get 30 more steel plates. I have been running back here and doing some mining. So I've got a little hole in my iron here. As soon as I get this vessel put together, though, it's going to be doing all of my mining for me. I think I have everything else I need other than iron to get it built. So I'll be jumping off of camera here in a few to get some more work done on that. Mining more iron for myself so that I can actually sit here and build the ship full out. But at the same time, I want to have some nice floodlights so that we can see and hear pretty well. So I pull that out. Love how the rotations never work the way you expect them to, but at least it's not hard to correct once you know which way it's going. And go ahead and do a couple off the side here. And what do I need to place floodlights? I know those are in the spotlight category now. And good, steel plate. Okay, so the way I'm building this, I want to use the angled corner left and corner right. I think that should work properly. If I stop trying to do silly things with them. And the angled floodlight. There we go. So let's go ahead and get these 6. Hopefully I've got the stuff to get those built. It wants 2,000 iron, so let's see what I've got in here. Perhaps enough. Similar. Yes, I have enough. Just barely. So definitely need to go off camera and do mining as I finish this bit. But that's no problem, because I'll have some nice lighting over here to build the ship with. Don't need those 3 steel plates on me for right now. And let's just see what I can get built. I do love the floodlights. Honestly, this might make it to where I can see in the entire interior asteroid once I've got them set up properly and fully built. So I had enough for 1 light. Maybe I can finish this one now. That being said, I do have all of these currently facing down, but I used full blocks so that I can place other lights if I need or want to. But I think this should get a good setup for the building platform here. It's already much brighter, and I haven't even gotten into the settings for them. Crank the radius, the intensity is fine, offset's fine. Yeah, all the rest of that should be fine. I'm just going to label this as Outpost, so OP building platform lights. And I don't need those in the terminal. And maybe I can build up the others now, and they're already done for their settings. Let me see if I have the rest of those parts. I do. So let's go ahead and get these 3 built up, and then I'll be going off camera and getting a bunch of iron mining done, because I just spent the rest of my iron in here. But I will see how the lighting is going to work for us. Because I definitely want to be able to see myself, and absolutely want you guys to be able to see. The downside of asteroid life. It's just very dark. Alright, so I've turned off my lights, so the only lights on are those floods. So the build platform is very well illuminated. I like that. And time for me to go off camera and get a bunch of iron mining done. That is between where I'm mining and my drop-off point, so hopefully I don't fly into it. Alright, so I've had a bit of a change of plan overall, and there's a meteor storm inbound, and this one might actually be dangerous. Oh my god. Okay, no, it seems like it's missing me. It's missing my asteroid entirely, which is good. The change of plans being, I forgot that I haven't put a battery on here yet, so I've got the rest of that here. I just need to get it all over there and welded up. And also, I am still going to make a dedicated mining ship, but I built the Colony 1 in such a way as I can convert that into a temporary mining ship, and then I can change out its ore detector for the space-only azimuth ore detector, and get all of my mining done a lot quicker. Why am I going all the way around? That entrance works fine too. All connected. Hope I'm not making everyone sick here with my back and forth. Yeah, let's use the mag plates instead. For the last little trip. So I can cut out my conveyor tubes behind my cockpit and replace those with conveyor junctions, and get some conveyor tubes to get a couple drills out ahead of it. These right here. Have to do them one at a time. Oh, I don't have to. If I want to keep the whole ship together, I do though. And I'm going to have some of the parts, but not all of them, to replace that. And same over here. Put both of those on my bar. Don't have any of the parts currently, but there's not very many parts required for that, and I've got plenty of iron to get a few of these things done. I might actually be able to complete this overall conversion, minus the ore detector that's going to need me to go and mine a bunch of stone, so I have silicon, nickel, and iron. But mostly I need this to go and mine up that iron. 1,000 ore per trip. It's just not very effective. Alright, so let's get some interior plates. 20 is going to be more than enough. I also need a few steel plates to be able to put down the ghost for the drills themselves. Can go ahead and get some of these pipes put in though. If I come out one and then curve, is that going to have them in danger of the thruster? I don't know. I will have to see. If it does get burned, I might just be repairing them repeatedly until such a time as I have my proper mining ship put together. Yeah, let's pull these out 4. There we go. So 6 on each side. Let's go ahead and put all of that away and grab some steel plates so I can put these drills down. It's not made for tunnel mining. It's just going to be made to kiss at the ore nodes. So the 2 drills will be perfectly fine. And this will still allow me to be able to see what I'm mining when I'm mining it. Really do love the industrial cockpit. Put all these steel plates away. And then we can do one side at a time. I do have some of the parts, but not a lot. Mostly just some of the steel plates for that, I guess, is what I had. And let's check the cost here. Yeah, I should have enough. Plenty. All right. I should be able to get both of them up and running then with what I have there. And since I have this battery operational, that'll keep base running for a bit. I'm going to go and mine a full load of stone, I believe, would be a good way to get this started, because I need to get solar panels down as well. Definitely need the solar panels. Okay, there's all of these components. Apparently my engineer is having problems mag boot running across the ground here. All of his heavy breathing. I also need some lights on this thing before I try going out and mining with it. So I'll put a couple floodlights probably on the side front here. Maybe a few others here and there. Okay, did I hit the drill or the other thing? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, it got all of them. Everything got really janky there for a moment. And like I said, I've got plenty to get that up and running. So let's look at spotlights again. I took that off of my bar when I cleaned it. But it is still set up there. So there's actually on small grid the down. I really like those for on the side there, for going on the front. Going to need some extra steel plates though. So let's just make 10 over what I need so I can get those placed down. This thing is taking its sweet time getting me all the parts I need. But what are you going to do? It is just a basic assembler. Having this set up for mining, though, is going to make it far easier than it even was down on the planet. Because it's not, oh, I have a cargo ship I can dump everything into. No, just fly over to the node. I've got several nodes marked that are surface level. So this will be very easy to use for a short time. Though it's far from efficient. Let's actually go ahead and turn my O2H2 generator back on since I'm going to be using this more. I only have 50% hydrogen right now. That's not so good. All right, drills online. Nice. Now let's get some lighting placed. I can do up to 10 lights. So there's 2 of them. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and put a couple more down here too. Let's be kind of cheeky. There we go. And I actually shouldn't need reverse lights or anything, but it might be nice to have something angled more upward. There we go. So yeah, we'll call that good for lights. I just need the forward lights here. Okay, what I don't have is in production now. Oh, these all needed an interior plate as well. Well, at least I had one. Like I said, I'll get rid of this for a proper ore detector. We'll probably do that in the next episode when we're actually getting around to working on the proper miner itself. We're going to need to be able to go out and find some things, I'm sure, ahead of time. And my parts should be done now. Yep. Let's get these lights finished and go mine up a good load of iron. Now that I can actually disconnect this from the outpost without the outpost immediately dying. Or no, wait, not iron. Stone. I need a full load of stone so I can get plenty of silicon and nickel as well. And the gravel will also be helpful in the long run, because now that I'm in space, I can find uranium. And it's really easy to set things up to run on uranium on the base. Let's go ahead and switch those to recharge. That's actually going to kill my small batteries pretty quickly, but I'm fine with that. Now, I don't want to mine directly into my entrance here, but let's go down a little bit. Tool group blocks, pull down my drills. And I will have to keep an eye on my inventory myself, because I did not put in the build info mod that comes with it. Typically, I build a group for my miners, so I can just turn those off and on. But if, like I'm doing here, you're just kind of jumping in real fast, if you go into your inventory, they'll keep running. And they'll run on auto the whole time here. I gotta be careful about those wing peaks. But again, you know, I've got decent bit of clearance on these drills, and I can see very clearly what I'm mining. I don't need my lights on. And because I jumped out of the cockpit, those turned off, so I can just open the inventory again. Go back to cargo. So I've got one cargo container full. The second one is almost full. I do have 3 of these, however. I am bashing my solar wings. I don't think they're messed up. I don't see any sparks. I was just scraping them around a little bit. It's fine. Back to the cargo. Alright, this is definitely going to take a little bit to carve out what I've got here already. So let's go ahead and call that good. turn off my dampers so I can just kind of drift back for a moment. I never like to leave my dampers off. I prefer to have the brake group turned off and moving forward. It's just easier to handle in pretty much every way. Get over here and connect this, and then I will go off camera while it is melting all of that down and bring it back to be able to get a sun tracking solar panel online for the base here. Alright, so I've got enough stuff to be able to lay down the basics of what we're going to have here. First and foremost, going to need a custom turret controller to handle all of the control for it. I'm going to use the 15-meter poles from the MA stackable wind turbines because it's actually going to give me lots of distance out here. They're fairly well armored when welded up, and they're going to work perfectly with the rotor on the end here. Pink. So that just fits so perfectly. Hinge on top of that. A single heavy armor block in the middle there, which is where the camera goes. And then the rest of these are going to be half armor coming off of here, the light armor. Half block. There we go. That's what I was trying to think of. And how far these go actually depends on the solar panel array itself, which I always do something fairly similar, but it's a little different each time. So let's see here. I don't think I'm going to need a gigantic solar array on this one. So let's go with a bit smaller footprint to it. Let's see. Getting things to turn right can sometimes be a pain. Usually my solar array is 3 to 4 times the size of what this one's going to be. But I think this should be fine. Now, if I were to put some of these in here, they would overlap funny, wouldn't they? Yeah. But I could pull them down here and just make that a bit longer, and that should work fine. I am, however, out of the steel plates. So let's grab a couple more of those. Of course I don't have any, so let's get 10 of them. Actually, no, 20, because I need to get the rest of my half blocks in. Yeah, that's going to look nice. I also switched the color I was using to white instead of the gray. It's a lot easier to see what I'm doing once each piece is welded up, or while I'm just sitting here looking at the ghost itself, the white is just brighter. Once it's all welded up, it'll be brighter and easier to see for everyone because it'll reflect more light. Alright, and that should have enough clearance to where no matter how it's turned, I can find a way to get in and park. But now I've got to get all these parts fixed up and welded. And then before I turn them on, I will bring it back and show doing all the setups for everything and it turning on and getting me power. So I'm going to pause up and get to work on getting all these parts and getting all this welded up. Back in a moment. Alright, so I've mined up a full load of iron to be able to finish up all the things I'm working on, which includes, I went ahead and threw in the azimuth strong ore detector, space only. But on the brighter side of things, I've got all of this put together and welded up as far as what I need for functional parts. So let's get to the naming and labeling of things as soon as this is fully welded. There we go. Alright, so first I want to find the rotor, name that as OP Solar 1. The hinge gets the same treatment. And the camera. This is so I can find all of them. The hinge also needs inertial share inertia tensor turned on so it doesn't break itself. So let's go through here. Azimuth rotor is the rotor, elevation is the hinge. Put on the solar camera. Don't really need velocity multipliers on this at all. That will just give it more chances to break. And always aim at the sun. I also want to rename this block as OP Solar 1. Now this should be turned to properly face all of those directly at the sunlight. Nice. So I should have power coming in now. Yep. So let's switch these batteries to recharge as well. My little battery is already fully recharged. These are going to be recharged in 4 minutes. And they're being taken out of the main battery on the base. But after that happens, the base itself will have battery recharge coming in. I just noticed that doesn't work anymore. And I can't pull this down yet because it's not finished being built. And that's going to take 10,000 iron overall, which I have enough iron to get all of that completed. It's just waiting for it to get done. Not even sure I'm going to actually need all of that iron to get it functional. I want to get this operational though before I exit, because that way we can see what kind of a range I have on the small grid variant of this. So 12 motors short. Are those in here? 9 motors short. So do the motors first, because the motors are holding me up from getting it built. Yeah, fortunately, solar panels are pretty easy to put together. I still have all of this stuff to weld up so that it's uh, got armored tether instead of just single interior plate on each of these. That is not much armor at all. And if this place comes under attack, the solar panel will be the first thing to go. So I definitely want to get more batteries down here so I'm storing more power. There we go. I've got all of the motors now. And yes, that is functional. And I can wait forever on the frickin' steel plates because they're going to take forever. How far out does that ore detector go? 2,500 meters. They are very expensive, which is why I don't feel it's so cheaty. And actually, they turn on and off much crisper than the Ore Detector Plus Plus does. That alone tells me that Azimuth did cleaner code. Again, I am not a programmer, but I recognize clean and snappy over sloppy by how it's running. Alright, so I think that's a pretty good episode for today. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you want to see what I get up to in the future, there's always that subscribe button. Until next time, have a good one.